Now students, we will discuss part 2, town planning and architecture. Let's watch this video to understand how these ancient cities were built.
All right, let's get right into it. We're going to dive deep into one of the world's oldest, most fascinating civilizations. And specifically, we're talking about their absolutely mind-blowing talent for urban planning.
Okay, so I want you to picture this. You're walking through a city with perfectly straight streets. You're passing multi-story brick houses, and they have advanced sanitation systems. And this is all happening over 4,500 years ago. We're not talking about Rome or Athens here. This was a city of the Indus Valley civilization.
So, the big question is, how on earth did they do it? Let's take a look at the urban blueprint of the Harappan people, because honestly, it's a design so advanced, it still has archaeologists scratching their heads.
Okay, so we're going way back to around 2600 BCE. And look, this civilization wasn't just a handful of little villages. No way. It was this huge network of massive, planned urban centers like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. And just to give you some perspective, these cities had populations on par with major European cities, but thousands of years earlier.
And when I say enormous, I really mean it. Mohenjo-Daro, for example, was over 250 hectares. To put that in perspective, that's like 350 football fields. Its sister city, Harappa, was over 150 hectares. These weren't just cities, they were genuine metropolises of the ancient world.
Alright, so here's where it gets really cool. The way they organized these cities, it was so consistent. No matter where you look across the civilization, you see this very specific pattern. The city is always divided into two distinct parts.
Archaeologists have a name for these two parts, the citadel and the lower town. Now if you look at this layout of Mohenjo-Daro, you can see it right there. The smaller, kind of fortified citadel over on one side, and then the huge, sprawling lower town on the other. You can tell that separation was totally intentional.
So the citadel was the smaller section, yeah. But it was built up on this massive mud brick platform. It was literally raised high above everything else. It had its own walls and was totally separate from the much, much larger lower town, where, most people actually lived.
Okay, so let's zoom in on the citadel. This is where you find these incredible structures that were clearly built for special public purposes. And some of the most iconic Harappan architecture, well, it's right here. The most famous one has to be the Great Bath. Now, don't think of it as just a swimming pool. This was a massive rectangular tank set inside a courtyard. And the thinking is, it was probably used for some kind of special ritual bathing. The way it was built and how well it's been preserved, it's just astounding.
So let's talk numbers, because they're pretty impressive. The tank itself was a precise 12 meters long,
A full 7 meters wide,
and nearly 3 meters deep. So you're looking at something like 39 by 23 by 8 feet. I mean, what a monumental structure, right? And the engineering precision is just off the charts.
And this right here is where you really see their engineering genius. They made the tank completely watertight with bricks and this special gypsum mortar. They built steps leading right down into it. It was surrounded by all these corridors and rooms, and there was even one room with a huge well that probably fed water into the whole thing. Incredible.
Even today, after thousands of years, you can still see the brickwork. It's just survived all this time. It's really a testament to the skill of the people who built it.
Okay, another huge public building on the citadel was the warehouse, or what a lot of people call the Great Granary.
Now the wooden parts on top are long gone, of course, but the massive brick foundations are still there. We're talking over 1,300 square meters. This strongly suggests they had some kind of state-controlled system for storing grain, which, would have been absolutely vital for the city's economy.
All right, let's head over to the lower town. This was the real heart of the city, right? A huge walled-in area. Get this, over 3,000 houses and an estimated 700 wells. This is where pretty much everybody lived and worked. The most mind-blowing feature here, though? The street grid. Just look at it. The roads and streets, they all intersect at almost perfect right angles. It creates this incredibly organized grid pattern. You just didn't see this kind of thing in most of the ancient world. It's revolutionary. And here's the kicker. It all comes down to foresight. This quote really nails it. It looks like they laid out the streets and the drains first, and then they built the houses along them. Think about that. They planned the city's infrastructure before a single house was built. That's incredible foresight.
And the houses themselves were pretty clever. They were designed for both daily life and privacy. Most of them were built around a central courtyard. That was kind of the hub for everything. Cooking, weaving, you name it. And to keep things private, they didn't put any windows on the ground floor walls facing the street. The main entrance was also set up so you couldn't just peek straight inside.
So you have to ask yourself, how did they pull this off? This amazing level of planning and uniformity, and not just in one city, but across a whole civilization that covered this massive area. How?
The answer, it seems, is standardization. It was the key. We see this incredible uniformity in literally everything, from their weights and seals all the way down to the very bricks they used to build their world. And it all boils down to one simple, absolutely elegant ratio. This was the literal building block of their entire society. Okay, check this out. It didn't matter if the brick was sun-dried or baked in a kiln. Every single one had a length that was 4 times tight and a breadth that was twice as tight. This exact 4:2:1 ratio was used everywhere, in every single Harappan settlement, from Jammu way up in the north all the way down to Gujarat in the south. So, this incredible uniformity you see in the city plans, in the public buildings, right down to every single brick, it leaves us with this one last really fascinating question. What kind of central authority or shared belief system could enforce that kind of meticulous planning and standardization across such a huge civilization 4,500 years ago? It's a puzzle that researchers are still trying to solve.
Now students, come, let's look at the slide deck for this lesson. Let's glance over it in sequence. It will make it easier for us to remember. Now children, I am providing the comprehensive notes for this section. Please take a screenshot of these notes so you can read and memorize them later. First, give them a good read through, then take screenshots. Here is the data table for this part. This table is very helpful for exam preparation as it lists everything clearly. Please save a screenshot of this part which will help you later. Now students, this is the infographic of this lesson.